Good evening. Welcome to Sacred Enzyme. I'm Stacy. So this evening I sat down to study, and I was watching a docu-series that just came up on my feed like a day ago that was about Apollo, the wolf god. And I was like, what? This is crazy. I swear AI is feeding me stuff on my feed for me to learn more things about it. I'm not kidding you. So I start watching this, and it's talking about, the tons of different names that you come up with that means wolf, right? So the show is progressing and progressing, and then he says about this very old version of the word that means wolf that is like a Proto-Gaelic word, and so the name is Bledios, Bledios. So I'm thinking, okay, that name sounds awful lot like Bledsoe, like Bledsoe said so. He says that he's been in contact with the mother, the lady. He calls her the lady. And I wonder if he knows that his name means wolf. Because, I'm kind of thinking that these people that's name actually means wolf are some of these people that are being contacted by these wolf beings. And so I'm wondering if it goes all the way down to in-person contact where you think you're being attacked by a werewolf. But, it's definitely a communication opportunity, or maybe it's a scare on purpose for an awakening. But we got to figure out what the bloodlines are and what the names are and take them apart, because I'm telling you, it's all in the names. So yeah, I think it has to do with the people that are being contacted right now are some of the wolf people, but there's all of these other collectives that are contacting their collectives because we're in the ascension cycle. And it's time for everybody to wake up and ascend. So, you may have contact where you're going to places and you're talking to some type of bird beings, or that you're talking to insects, or that you're talking to, horses. And, there's a lot of people that are really close to horses, or really close to dogs, or really love their cats or their birds or whatever. There's a reason for that. You have an affinity with a certain animal because you have an affinity to that animal. Now, my house is like a zoo. We have 3 dogs, we have a cat, and 3 birds. So, yeah, I would say that I'm very connected with canine energy because my dogs follow me everywhere, and I have 3 birds. So it's funny that, I've seen bird beings, and I've seen the wolf mother. So, I mean, I'm telling you, it all goes to bloodlines, and I think that if everybody just works on doing these speaking these fire codes, and learning breathing techniques to clear all the junk out and reprogram the DNA with visualization techniques. You can go on YouTube and you can look up the freedom teachings, and all of Ashiana Dean's teachings are there. She spent years and years and years and years going to school with Palladian beings. I think it was Palladian beings that taught her. And she knows all of the codes, and she has all of the work. And I can't share it because it's copyrighted, which is unfortunate because it's really kind of puts you in a hard spot if you want to learn it so you can teach it, but you can't show any of the material because it's copyrighted, because people have abused it and not done it the right way, because it all has to be done absolutely in order, because you're opening Vekas, you're not opening Vekas, you're opening seals that are in your body, you're breaking, you're breaking like all of these patterns that have caused the morphinogenic field for your DNA template to be either something's deactivated, and this is why I just got a thump on my watch. This is where we're supposed to be talking about this. So there's something more that needs to be looked into that has to do with our DNA and how it pertains to these different dimensions. These different dimensions. Because our template, we were originally a Terranusium. That was what the blueprint was, the Terranusium race. And I'm still learning about all that because I'm not completely done reading my book. And then she has 2 books, and then there's like millions and millions of publications that you can read about all this stuff. But there's also the Ascension glossary that's on Google, and you can look up all kind of stuff. It has basically all of the answers. It's the same material that Ashiana Dean has practically, and I think that maybe that's where you get all of these legalities that's coming now on her work, and teaching it and sharing it is because of this. I don't know if there was like some kind of, I don't know if they all worked together at one time, because the material almost, to me, in my opinion, almost seems like the exact same thing. But I do like the Ascension glossary because I can search it right here on my laptop. You know, otherwise I have to go onto the Internet Archive to pull up the Voyager's book. But you can read them on there because that's where I've been reading them. Her books cost thousands of dollars because they're out of print. And the way I understand it is she's supposed to be getting these books reprinted, because I know someone that's kind of, you know, was close with her at one time. She's supposed to be getting the books republished, and they're going to be sold for $20. So when that happens, I'll buy the copies. But like $2,000, $3,000 for a copy of the book, there's just no way. I can't pay that. There's no way. So yeah, the last name Bledsoe, I think, means Bledios, which is actually, it's an old Scottish Gaelic name that means wolf. And now Ireland was called Wolfland. So, you know, I think that a lot of these wolf people ended up going to Ireland, the Iberian Peninsula. You know, that's where my family ended up. They ended up in Britain. But, you know, but, you know, they were all over the place. They were all over the place. So, you know, that's a typical dog for you. Always wandering around. But yeah, I think this is good. I honestly think this is what one of the biggest cover-ups it ever was, is that we actually do come from one of 12 different animals, originally, and then after hybridization we became, boy, could you imagine if everything that we were was actually still showing on the outside like it used to be? Like it used to be, you'd have a snake tail and a dog head and wings and, you know, all kind of crazy business. Because you showed up with whatever. You'd have a horn coming out. I mean, it showed on the outside instead of just being on the inside. So maybe that is why we're now in the image of God, is because we're able to have all of these things inside of us and just look like this on the outside, kind of nondescript. You know, everything, all of the secrets are inside. I mean, it's something to think about. It's really something to think about. So, yeah, I mean, Mr. Bledsoe, I think that he may be a wolf being, or from the wolf hybrid, the line of wolf beings, yeah. From the proto-morphinogenic form of wolf. I do. I think that he did. And I'd love to talk to him. I really love to talk to him. I love to figure out how to get in touch with him, because I really feel like it would be interesting if he knew that he probably comes from the wolf people, and to just be able to compare our backgrounds, because I know that we come from the wolf people. I'm convinced, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all in the lore. So with that, I'm going to end this video because my dogs are stalking everything outside. We live in the woods. So I hope to catch you on the next one. Have a good night. Thanks for watching Sacred Ensign. Bye-bye.